happening, gamers? K-Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. Now, I really want to thank Sarah, Andrew, and Steve for the interview that they gave me from TikTok Games for their upcoming game, B.ArK. The only problem is that once I recorded it, my audio didn't come in. So everything that I was asking them, you just can't hear. So I've been editing it to the best of my ability. And it was a pretty lengthy interview, so I chopped it up as well. But so if it's a little wonky, I apologize for that, because you don't hear me saying anything. You'll see me in the background. But because you couldn't hear what I had to say or the questions that I asked. I was trying to figure ways of trying to, maybe if I say something and then, like, if I'm saying something at this point and then have them say something, or for my rebuttal, and then I was like, no, just let them just talk, because they're the most important ones to listen to, other than me just asking certain questions. But yeah, without further ado, thank you guys. This is definitely not my last interview. I really do appreciate those guys from TikTok Games for letting me talk to them for their upcoming game. It's going to be coming on Switch and going to be coming on Steam as well. So check it out. Thank you. And hey, if you guys are into fighters or want to be into fighters, check this out. You see this in the background. The GRG Club. It is the Fight Night Sunday Club. We got one on the Xbox. I'm going to also add one on other places as well, on Steam, PlayStation. And so, just get as many people that want to join fighters. You don't have to be competitive. We play for fun. There's some games that I'm good at. There's some games that I'm not. If you watch last night's Fight Night Sunday, you'll see the best of both worlds. I was getting down, and then I just got to a point to where I was just getting my head beat. But that's the whole beauty of it. I love the competition of it. I love the community about it. So if you're interested, hey, this is what's on Xbox right here. So you can come and check it out. Like I said, we'll be expanding it as well, so we can also do it. And we'll be doing Fight Night Sundays on Wednesdays as well, so during the day. So yeah, we hope you guys will come and check it out. But anyway, without no further ado, check out the video and let me know what you think about it. Thank you. Peace.
Cool. Yeah. So TikTok. By the way, I'm Steve. I do creative direction at the studio. Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself again?
Sure. I'm Sarah. I'm the studio art lead, so I basically oversee all the art at the studio.
Cool. Yeah. So TikTok Games has been around for about 10 years now, give or take. It was started by Sharif Morse, who's our CEO. Sharif has been around the industry for quite a while. Has worked on a ton of different games, worked at a ton of different companies. You guys can look up his name. I'm sure there's things that'll pop up. But he started the studio, and he's somebody that I met many years ago at this point, almost 10 years ago. And he's one of those people that just like radiates energy and just cares a lot about video games, and cares a lot about the pure side of video games. So when I say that, I mean like the fun, right? There's a lot of different types of experiences out there. I don't like, saying that, games have to be fun, right? They could be unpleasant at times. They could be slow and sort of interesting and tell stories. But for Sharif, it was all about like bringing joy. And so I think TikTok was really founded under a lot of that. And then as it evolved, we got into tons of different stuff. We got into mobile games primarily in a really big way. We did a lot of like really popular bubble shooters, like stuff like Panda Pop, which definitely blew up. But also we had that sort of coming from studios like Way Forward that were really focused on creating really awesome platformers. We have that legacy. So games like Adventures of Pip, and Pug Run, which we made many years ago. So really, the studio now has evolved into this kind of combination of things, right? We do a lot of really cool mobile games, but we also, really focus on fun, delightful gameplay, making sure that the minute-to-minute fun is there, making sure that our characters are there, providing like, we just want to provide joy to people's lives, right? So that's kind of where we're at.
I would just say that Steve really hit the nail on the head. And when he starts streaming the demo, we can really get into details about B.ArK itself and how we really fold in our company mythos into this title in particular. Because what B.ArK as a game is a love letter to gaming, basically.
I'm sorry for everyone's hearts in that moment. Yeah, when Barker at the beginning of the trailer just barks, and there's something like heartfelt about the bark as it echoes through.
And while we're on the mission briefing screen here, you have a good look at our cast lineup. And I hope it's coming through on the stream, but the character animation on our characters is actually hand-drawn, traditional frame-by-frame animation, again, to try to create that fun feeling of a Saturday morning cartoon. And you'll see some fun animation on some of the bosses as well.
Yeah, so Spike is a narwhal, and he's in charge of the Dark Tide's drilling operation on Neptune. So they're trying to collect plutonium to power their ships. So you'll see that as we destroy ships and shoot through the different hordes of enemies, they're going to drop these little plutonium nodes, and we're going to be able to pick those up. And the plutonium is actually going to empower our ship. So you can see those blue pieces. I'm going to pick those up, and there's a little meter at the very top, that blue meter that's starting to fill up. That'll fill up in pieces, and as it fills up, my gun will actually be upgraded. So you can see now I have a double shot. Exactly. So each individual ship has 3 unique upgrades and their own unique super. There is no way to go in and like mess around with customization and like kind of have a specific loadout. Your loadout really ends up being who are you playing with, who are you playing as. One really cool thing is that the supers, and I'll show you one in a second, the supers actually combine and stack in different unique ways. So you can actually strategically choose how to deploy your super to get different unique stacking effects. And that's actually applicable to both single player and multiplayer. So in multiplayer, you and I can actually play together and trigger our supers at the same time to get a unique effect. But in single player, I can actually pick up these power-ups, which you'll see around the level, that actually will allow me to do stacking supers, which is super fun. Thank you so much. Yeah, the art is just, like Sarah said, the art is just so beautiful. It's all, the animation is all frame by frame, hand-drawn animation. We have a bunch of super, like, you know, Sarah included, we have a bunch of super talented animators at our studio with CalArts background. So really fundamentally sound animators that just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And we worked, our studio is based in Burbank and Los Angeles, so we have access to a lot of crazy talented freelance animators as well. So we just had a lot of great talent on this project.
So you can see that I have my, my super is filled, the orange bar is filled, and I have my sort of powered up effects around my ship. So I'm going to use my unique super for Felicity, which just allows her to have a massive blast, which gets a ton of damage onto enemies right away. I can combine that super with other characters, and I'll show you that in the future, to create extra effects, extra damage. There's some really cool unique effects that the different supers can achieve. So you can see I have my full power gun, and I actually just got hit, so it downgraded my gun. So as you go throughout the round, think of it like, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, you get hit, you drop your coins. In this case, you're dropping your plutonium and getting depowered. Exactly. So we wanted to make sure also on the note of difficulty, we wanted to make sure that it felt true to the shmup legacy of difficulty, but also, right, we've been talking about the accessibility and allowing new players into the genre. So some of the things we've done to allow new players into the genre is, one, you can see that we have a health bar. Because I'm playing on normal, I have 7 hits that I can take, which is pretty healthy, right? It's a decent amount of hits that you can take. And so for new players, you can jump right in and you can see these levels, you can get a feel for the levels, and you can practice and get better without feeling like, oh, I'm dying and going back to the beginning of every level and getting super frustrated. In multiplayer, we also have a feature that we call sidecar mode, which is essentially very similar to if you played like the new Super Mario Bros. Platformers. It's a feature that allows players to pick each other up while they're downed. So say, for example, Kareem, if you and I were playing together and I got shot down, you could fly over and pick me up, and I become sort of a satellite that rotates around you and is able to shoot and contribute to the fight on my own as well. We wanted to make sure there wasn't too much downtime for players, right? It feels bad to die and be out of the action for a while, or to die and not be able to come back. So that was really important for us, for this as a co-op game. I know Sarah likes this.
I do
Yeah.
love it. Like I'm someone who is not very good at these types of games at all. So through co-op mode, I am actually able to play and have fun and let my team carry me through. I also wanted to point out that Abraham, the director of the game, just joined the call.
Hey, Abraham.
Hello, hi.
Welcome.
Thank
You
Thank
are.
you.
We are being recorded, by the way.
Oh, hi. No, I just wanted to thank you, Steve, Sarah, for jumping in. Yeah, I was just speaking to developers about our release candidate, how we were gonna have everything set up and ready. We're absolutely ready now.
We're so close, yeah.
Yes.
So Kareem, this is our first boss, Spike. He's inside of his narwhal mech, and he's hitting me with a ton of different projectiles and different types of weapons. He's smashing these ice steroids at me, breaking them apart into tons of different little shards. So really the strategy here is just be on guard, be aware. So I'm going to hit him with my super. And, he split apart. Come on. All right, we took him down. Chug will finish what I could not. So that was the first level. We can keep taking you through. I can switch characters. Yeah. Which one do you want to see? All right. Yeah. Perfect. All right. We'll show you Lucio. So you can also see right at the end there, I unlocked a hidden memory. So each level, there are hidden memories placed around, just kind of tucked away in hidden little spots. And those will give you a little bit more context about each different character in the game, what they were doing before the Dark Tide took over, what happened when the Dark Tide took over. It just gives you a little bit more flavor for them and provides some context for like how they started and where they are now. Abraham, do you want to speak to that part? Now that
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we have a total of 6 chapters, 1 secret chapter unlocked, but with various difficulty levels as well.
So via Steam, you can use remote play. Currently on Switch, it will be couch co-op only, which is funny because we really want to make a couch co-op game that you can sit down and play with your friends. And then the pandemic hit, and we're like, oh man, what timing? But one thing we really love about Steam is that it has a remote play feature, so you can link up and play with friends. And it's actually been extremely reliable and fantastic for us as a testing tool as well.
In co-op mode, I love B.ArK too. I love Lucio because of his shield ability. I like hiding behind it.
Yeah.
But he does pack a punch though. So Lucio's
sure.
one of the strongest characters. The only disadvantage that I see with Lucio is that he's more of a point and shoot character, so you gotta position him right. But man, when you get him fully powered up, like those bullets, as you can see, are clearly taking a big chunk out of this mini
here's
boss.
my shield.
Oh yeah, so that shield reflects bullets. Yeah.
And obviously, as we scale the difficulty, you will definitely have a harder time taking down these mini bosses. One of my favorite characters in the game is actually Marv, who is the anxious bunny rabbit. First of all, I relate to his personality, but second of all, his ability is a heat-seeking missile gun. So he starts to shoot these projectiles that'll actually follow enemies around the screen. Ooh, and I'm taking damage here. And so for players that maybe aren't as good with positioning and aren't as skilled in these types of games, they can still contribute in a big way and have a ton of fun. Totally. So that's something that I didn't talk about, and also didn't really put on display too much in that first level because there's not as much that really requires it. But as you go through the game, dash becomes even more of an essential tool in your toolkit. So dash is definitely in a lot of ways similar to like the option of a barrel roll in Star Fox, where it's hey, a bullet's coming and I just want to get out of jail free. I need to get out of here. I need to move myself out of the damaging zone. Ooh, and look at that combo he just put on me. He locked me down and then shot me. So dash is an ability that has a small cooldown that allows you to jump through bullets. Every single character in the game has that ability. So utilizing it as you go through is going to be a part of mastering this game. In total, a ton of different people have worked on it. Maybe, I don't know, up into the 30 range or so. But the core team, I think, has been largely below 10, below double digits for the majority of the project. So a small core team and then a ton of different contributors, friends, different people that have been able to really make their mark on the game in a big way. Yeah, I mean, for us, that was the goal. Match it up with the Saturday morning cartoon aesthetic. I think a big conversation that we've had is like, hey, we love modern shoot 'em ups. There's a lot of really awesome games. Like recently, I got really into Natsuki Chronicles off of a recommendation from Abraham. I think it's a fantastic game, but it's also the perfect example of a game that's really, really fun, but really difficult. So like new players are not going to have an easy time getting into a game like that. And as you can see in our game, it's not easy, right? But you have enough options, enough health, enough different things that you can do to get out of harm's way that, you probably feel a little bit more empowered than you do in a lot of those really classic arcadey style games that are still being made to this day. So you can see awesome. Well, that's really good to hear.
Awesome.
Yeah, especially as like someone who you were familiar with those games, you were familiar with Gradius, like that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted people like you who had played those games to still be interested in this game, even though, hey, it's got things that are different about it than those games, right? But it's still going to challenge you. It's still going to remind you of all the things that you loved about those games. Cool. All right, so nothing to announce as far as new projects. Obviously, the studio is working on a ton of different things. But as far as release date, July 29th, the game will be out. It's coming to both Steam and Switch. So please, if you're interested, please go check it out. Wishlist. It's B.ArK on both platforms. So it's B.ArK. If you just search B.ArK on both platforms, it should show up. Click the wishlist button.